Hello, good evening. How was your day? Today is the day 17th of this month's training. We have been looking at the peace and conflict management, and it's our 1 month free professional diploma training in peace and conflict management. This training is being provided by the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management, and it's being provided for our followers on Facebook and YouTube. So if you are followers on Facebook and YouTube, you stand a chance to benefit from this training. And those that are participating here today are those that are following us on YouTube and on Facebook. So if you are not following us on Facebook or YouTube, please do so so that you can stand a chance to benefit from this training from time to time, as the case may be. Our website is very up now. Our website is back. For those of you that have not gotten your certificate, either on ADR or Peace and Sustainable Development, if it's your badge, reach out to the person distributing serial number so they can get your serial number and download your certificate. And of course, for ADR, those of you that have not gotten your serial numbers for ADR certification, you reach out to me so that I'll be able to attend to you. Peace and sustainable development is not me that I'm attending to you. So the person is Janet. Her contact has been provided. You reach out to her, get your serial number, and get and download your certificate if it's your turn. Then today, after this class, I will start distributing. I'll distribute all the topics for all the groups. Do you understand? So that you can start your simulation practices. By next week, we'll start presentation, as the case may be. We can try as much as possible to ensure that we do 3 presentations for a day so that we'll be able to meet up with timing. All right. Um, if there's any other challenge you are confronting, you let us know your challenge so that we can attend to it. Sometimes people have a challenge, instead of bringing it to admin to address it, sometimes they just go and post it in a group where they are not supposed to post it. Even if you have any challenge, talk to us privately, we can assist you. And even if we don't have time to respond at the material time, because sometimes I have several messages to address, sometimes I will just hold on others to address them later. So sometimes it will escape my memory. Just do a reminder. We can address it. Do you understand? So please don't get angry when your issue is being delayed to be addressed. All right. Just give us a reminder and we'll be able to address it. Just have it in mind that we are addressing thousands of people here and the demand is on us. Do you understand? So please do wait to be patient with us. And patience is one of the components of peace. Do you understand? So if you're not a patient person, you can never have peace. So yeah, patience is a virtue that everyone should have. So please try as much as possible to bear with us when we are not able to respond to you at the material time as expected. Right? Please, I'm coming. Let me share the link so that others can also follow to join us. Yes, Mrs. Harris Nabis, your membership certificate is ready. I will send it to you. I will send it to you. I would like to have your email. I will send it through your email so that you can get it. Nabi Alice from Kenya. The membership certificate is ready, and of course that of Odilia also is ready. You understand? So if both of you are here, then I have seen Nabi's. So you, I'll get to you with your certificates. I'll send it to you through your email. Just send me your email so I can forward it to you. Thank you very much, and then we'll discuss other matters as they arise. All right. Today I want us to look at. We'll be looking at the post conflicts. The issue of conflicts has been a wonderful experience for those that experience conflicts. They share their experience with you. You wish that we should always have peace instead of conflict. Conflict has been a devastating experience all over the world. So we'll be looking at post conflict. Post conflict reconstructions and recovery. Post conflict reconstructions and recovery. Now, the experience in war or in conflict is not always a positive experience, most especially when we talk about armed conflict. You understand? We can have conflict that may be mere misunderstanding, that is fine. We can get over those ones easily. But when a conflict becomes an armed conflict, then the experience is not always good. So recovering from that experience is also not always easy. You see, it is easy to destroy, but it's not easy to rebuild. You understand? It's easy to destroy, but it's not easy to rebuild. You see, if you carry a stone, or you carry hammer, or you carry a big block, you hit on the wall of your house, it's possible that the whole of one side of the house will collapse. But when it comes to rebuilding, it will take you weeks or days to rebuild that same side. You can just use one leg and kick the fence of your house and it will collapse. But it will take you weeks to rebuild the same fence that you kick with one leg. That is how reconstruction and recovery is when it comes to post-conflict reconstruction. It's easy to destroy, but it is not easy to rebuild. So anytime you want to cause trouble, it takes a little effort to get you injured, but it takes a lot of effort to get you healed. Do you understand? So you want to say, I no go agree, I no go agree. It is fine that you are not agreeing. It's fine. But by the time they carry one iron and hit you on your head and you sustain injuries, it will take a lot of effort to recover. That is for you to recover. But it takes just few minutes for you to receive a blow on your head. But it will take weeks, months, and if care is not taken, it will you will sustain what we call disability for life. Do you understand? That is conflict for you. So it takes little effort to destroy, but it takes little effort to rebuild. It takes effort, it takes little effort to injure, but it takes a lot effort to recover from those injuries. And of course, you can kill, but you cannot recreate a life. It's only God that creates human beings. And of course, any life that is taken cannot be recreated. Do you understand? So we can rebuild streets, flyovers, street lights, we can reinstall all of that. But a life taken in conflict cannot be recovered, it cannot be restored. Do you understand? So anytime trouble comes, a demon enters you and you want to go and fight, just have a rethink first. Just have a reconsideration. Have a think of your actions you are about to take. Because someone sometimes we are driving on the road, somebody just brush you small, then you park on the road. You don't even mind any other person on the road, the other road user. You don't care about their peace, don't care about their convenience, don't care about anything. Your own is that somebody has brushed you, so it's enough reasons why you should park on the road and start argument. But which one is better? Assuming it was an accident that claimed your life, what would have happened? So which one is better? A brush or an accident that will take your life? So if someone brush you, you look at it, sir, ma, all the argument, whatever you would do, the highest you can get is some change to go and maybe add to whatever you had to repair your car. If at all, you will get such. So why waste time? Can't you just go and the time you waste arguing to get a small change from someone to go and repair your car? Why can't you save that time, put it into a productive engagement, raise money, go and repair your car, and move forward? I'm talking from experience. Of me, there's nothing. If so far, if it's bomber, you hit me, bomber remove or bomber break, I'll remove, carry it, put in the boot, move forward. Do you understand? I don't. I'm too busy to go and be arguing on the road. You brush me, you brush me. Why do you brush me? I don't have time for all those stuffs. Do you understand? So all of these things are the reasons why sometimes we engage in certain destructive fights. Do you understand? And sometimes they consume our lives. Sometimes they consume a lot of things, properties. Do you understand? It's always starts just by misunderstanding. Conflict is in layers, sometimes just by misunderstanding. And then it escalates from misunderstanding, it becomes something that generates from specific issues to generalized issues. Do you understand? So what am I saying here? I'm saying that to destroy is easy, but to rebuild, it takes great effort. It took no time for Medugri to become a you know a place of, how like I don't know how I would describe it. You understand? But it's taking a lot of effort to rebuild it. It's taking a lot of effort. It will take more than 20 years to rebuild the city to look like what it was. Well, we may say that opportunity come to do proper development and rest proper buildings, but I'm telling you that it will not be easy to recover economically, socially, politically, and otherwise. Do you understand? So post-conflict reconstruction and recovery refers to the comprehensive process of rebuilding and restoring a society after a conflict such as war, civil unrest, or violent upheavals. Do you understand? This process aims to address the root causes of the conflict, rebuild infrastructure, and establish sustainable peace. Some of the efforts, like I mentioned something here, very critical something that I mentioned here, the root causes of the conflict. Sometimes we forget the root cause of the conflict. We focus on trying to just raise infrastructures, and then, you know, it is not going to be sustainable if the root causes of the conflict are not addressed. So the best way you can rebuild, the best rebuilding process is to address the root cause of the conflict. That's the best. It's not the infrastructure. The infrastructure we are building today, if the root cause of the conflict is not addressed, that same cause may still destroy what you are rebuilding. So what is the essence? So as reconstruction and recovery process is happening in the northeast part of Nigeria, we have to go in deep. We should focus more on educating the young people, the children there, because these are the root causes. Ignorance, illiteracy are some of the reasons why people decide to do certain things. They take action that they don't know what its full meaning is. Do you understand? So we have to go down deep, empower people through education, through skills, vocational skills, empower them, let them be resourceful, let them have something to do, let them be engaged. By so doing, we will reduce the chances of an engaged person engaging in conflict. As I am here, you ask me to go and protest, except it's a protest that I am initiating. Otherwise, I will not go. So far as I understand my society very well. Protests always end in conflict. So I don't want to go and protest. Anybody who feel like going to protest, you have the right to go and protest. I have my own way. If I want to protest, I'll protest. You understand? I must not necessarily be on the street to protest. You understand? Because it does not always end well. Because the system here does not understand what is the meaning of protest. Both the protesters and those that are being protested against don't understand what protest is all about. They understand. So that's why they can easily mobilize other protests against the protesters. Do you understand? That's why they can easily push the police into the street to go and displace protesters. And that's why it's easy sometimes the police to open even fire on protesters. Do you understand? So all of these things, for me, if you ask me as busy as I am to go and be on the street that I'm protesting, no way. If I want to speak against government, if I want to talk to government, there are channels that I can use to talk to government. Do you understand? I must necessarily be on the street. But some other people may not have the chance, so they may be on the street. That is fine for them. Do you understand? So that is it. But one thing I'm saying here is that if we educate our people and empower them, then they will know the best channels to address their problems rather than being on the street. Or even when they are on the street, there is a way and a manner they will coordinate themselves. Not when you go to this, we want to protest against bad governance. That is the irony of the whole stuff. You say, I am going out, I want to protest against bad governance. And then you went and destroy properties, offices, you destroy businesses, you destroy even street light, traffic light, you are destroying. So what are you talking about? What are you protesting against? What is it? What message are you creating? You understand? You want to protest against bad governance, and then you yourself you are constituting bad attitude. So how now should we consider you to be responsible enough to listen to you? because the very bad thing you are protesting against is the very bad thing you are doing. So why should the government respect your opinion in this case? I get a point now. So that is the reason why we must educate the people. All right, that's why we must educate the people. Very important. If we educate the people, they may be on the street protesting, and they may be on a single file, on a single line, and protest without causing obstruction for anything. You understand? And pass their messages and go. But here, if protests meet you on the road, you start praying for your life because they may end up destroying your vehicle or anything. Do you understand? So that's it. So it involves multiple dimensions like political, social, economic, and security, requiring the coordinated efforts of government, international organizations, civil society, and local communities. So all of these are going to put effort together to see that all these aspects are being addressed, political, economic, social, and security wise. You understand? So now, what are the components of post-conflict reconstructions and recovery? One, we have security and stabilization. One of the key efforts of recovery or of post-conflict reconstruction to maintain, you know, a sense of security and stability in the society. All right. So, and what are we doing here? We establish law and order. Make sure that no noise on the streets, no obstruction, no all of those things. So, and that's the duty of the police to go out there and make sure that there is law and order. That's number one. Number two is that we have to demobilize, disarmed, and reintegrate those that we consider as the combatants or the disputants. Do you understand? We have to demobilize, we have to disarm them as well, and then reintegrate them into the society. Do you understand? So that's what we need to do. Then strengthening local and national security institutions, reform the police, reform the military, reform even the vigilantes, strengthen them, make them functional. You understand? And then community, uh, you know, policing, eh, all of those things should be considered. For one, left for me alone, left for me alone, if we want to achieve the true security that we are looking for in this nation, we need state policing. Forget about the fact that people are saying that hey, governors will use it. Oh, are governors not using even the federal police? Are they not using any form of police or instrument at the hand? So if someone is in government, let's forget it, abeg. See, if someone is in line with the federal institution, they can do anything. Even when they are not in line with it, the federal institution, when they are in line with the commissioner in a particular state, they can do whatever they want to do. So what's the argument all about? So for me, if we really want to address the issue of security in this country, the issue of state policing must be considered. Do you understand? First and foremost, the federal police is insufficient, and the ones that are even available, it's like some of you here now, I'm talking to you here now, some of you have your police aid that are carrying you, moving with you here and there. You alone, maybe you have like five. Me, as I day here, I don't get anyone. If I even see them on the street itself, sometimes I fear for my life. You understand? When you see them, you start just respecting yourself so that you will not find yourself in the wrong book. You understand? So this is the issue. So, but maybe Tomorrow, if I also have the opportunity to, I will carry them along. I'll fool my hillocks, say these are my escort. That is it. That's how it is here. So you discover that one senator is moving with how many police? One minister is moving with how many police? Sometimes I look at, I stay at airport road. Sometimes I look at the convoys that pass here. Sometimes I wonder which one is the president own. The only difference is that when the president own is coming, you are not to move. Even from the other side of the road, they stop you until president pass before you pass. Do you understand? I was unfortunately I made that experience one day. They have to park somewhere on the other side of the road. President was to pass the other side, we have to stop. Even the other side, nobody moves until Mr. President pass. Abba, too much. So that's when I knew that this is the difference. So otherwise, the convoy they carry here, minister carry his own, secretary to the government of the federation carry his own. You will see it, you'll be wondering. Do you understand? So these are the issues. So you discover that we don't have enough left to protect us. If God is not protecting us now, we don't have security. Do you understand? So these are the issues. So we'll have to strengthen local and national security institutions. So political and governance reforms promote inclusive political processes, including elections. Allow young people to also contest election. Let them participate. All right? Let them participate. I may also decide to go and contest election. So you people should prepare. I have you as my backing. When I'm contesting for election, now you people will sponsor it too. So that I'll go there and make good legislation for you people so that we'll start having conflict in the country. Uh-huh. So you see, so these are the issues. So um establishing transitional justice mechanism, all right? Tribunals or truth commissions like what was sustainable in Rwanda and in South Africa. Because we must get justice for those that have, felt aggrieved, those that have felt, uh, harmed during the process of the conflict. They must receive some form of compensation or form of justice. Do you understand? Transitional justice. So strengthening governance, rule of law. We need to even work on the constitution. Like in our country, our constitution needs to seriously. We need serious work on the constitution. In fact, if possible, to rewrite the whole constitution, if at all. And then another one, anti-corruption measures. So anti-corruption measures is another challenge now. So which measure are we taking? Because even the institution that's supposed to fight corruption, sometimes the head of those institutions are being accused of corruption. So which one now? Which way? Do you understand? Economic recovery. So rebuilding infrastructure, reviving key sectors such as agriculture, trade, and industry, creating jobs and fostering economic stability. Yes, another very important aspect. Economic recovery is another component that we must address in a situation like this. We have to rebuild roads, rebuild schools, rebuild hospitals, and these things cannot just come as easy as I'm pronouncing. The way I'm pronouncing is very easy. Rebuild roads, rebuild hospitals, rebuild schools. When it comes to the now, corruption will even come in again. So the money that is meant to do all of these things will still be diverted, and what is left is not enough. You understand? It's not enough to do the real work that is to be done. So what do you expect? It will take years to recover. Or when roads are being constructed, substandard materials are being used so that It takes no time, it wash away. Now, another thing that is also difficult in times like this is job creation. Many people don't have the requisite skills, so they need empowerment, they need some kind of skills, empowerment, vocational skills training, and empowerment to be able to start something. You understand? Some of them may not have the skills to even to do white collar jobs. They may not have the qualifications to do the white collar jobs. So what is left of them? What is left of them now is to get at least vocational skills to be able to start something and able to live up to their needs and expectations. Otherwise, you see poverty. Because some of them, even to go and start farming now, it's not easy. Where to start is a problem. Because in conflict, some women may lost their husbands. So who will even farm for them? Who will help them? Where would they get money to even contract people to farm for them? You understand? So these are the issues. So economic recovery, very important. Social and community recovery, providing humanitarian assistance, promoting reconciliation and social cohesion among divided communities, ensuring the reintegration of displaced persons and refugees. Sometimes ago, somebody called me from from Kenya. Somebody called me from Kenya. He was saying that those refugees that you know came to Ghana as a result of the crisis in Liberia, they wanted them to go. Okay, the Ghanaian government only took about 1,000 to resettle them. So about 3,000 were asked to return back to Liberia. Do you understand? And some of them returned home, some refused to go. Do you understand? So they were somewhere until government went and demolished the place. Do you understand? So they became so stranded. And then someone, a Liberian, felt so bad about it. He reached out to us. And so I wanted to engage them. Both the Ghanaian guy that we were discussing the matter wanted to engage them to see how we can come in. We invited them for a conversation, but they didn't show up. So we now forget about it. Do you understand? So these are the issues, but these things are there. So ensuring the reintegration of displaced persons and refugees. Sometimes resettlement can happen, but at the same time, reintegration also can happen. Do you understand? Reintegration is returning them back to their home country. Resettlement is in the place of their refugees or where they have received asylum, they can be, resettled in that country. Do you understand? They can be resettled there and they will stay there and then live their lives and fulfill their destinies there. Do you understand? Nobody will pursue them. It's like observing them in the new environment now. The community say, well, we consider what you have gone through. We are ready to give you a place here to stay with us here, build your family, fulfill your destiny, and live with us. You are now Ghanaians by whatever provisions. So whether by naturalization or some of them by birth, why there some of them were given birth there, so become Ghanaian citizens as the case may be. You understand? Some of those people that were displaced in the northeast, some to Cameroon, some to Niger, some to uh, Chad, some are not willing to come back. Though. If we even ask them to come back, they will tell you I'm not coming. Do you understand? They have found a new place and they are in love with it and they want to move their life forward. So that is just it. So human rights and justice. So addressing war crimes and human rights abuses because in times like this, A lot of abuses happen, sexual abuses, you know, treatment, several other extrajudicial killings, and several other things happen. Do you understand? So ensuring accountability and reparations for victims, supporting gender-sensitive programs to protect and empower vulnerable groups. So institutional development is also another thing. So strengthening local governance structures and civil society organizations, building capacity within public institutions to deliver services effectively. Yeah, some of these public institutions need to some of them, like for instance, now the Northeast Development Commission. We need to have people they are being trained. Do you understand? The Niger Data Development Commission needs to have people they are trained. Some of them have Department of Conflict Resolution, but people that are working there have no idea what conflict resolution is all about. But they are working in those departments. Do you understand? Some of them have no idea what it means to resolve conflict, but they are working inside. So they need to be trained consistently. You understand? Even apart from even the fact that you are dealing with conflict. Conflict exists everywhere. People exist, people coexist, people live. You understand? Anywhere people live, coexist, you know, conflict exists there. Everywhere. So that is why it is inevitable. So in your place of work, even if it has nothing to do with peace and conflict resolution, you still find conflicts there. You see some element of acrimony, you see some element of malice, some element of hatred, some element of bad wishes. I get a point now. All of this exists in all places. So we can train you on workplace conflict management. I get a point now. So that you can know how to relate well. You can also see how you can build structures, organizational structure that can promote peace and resolve conflict. Some organizational structures are you know are conflicting in nature by their design. They are conflicting. Are you get the point now? So they cause more conflict in the organization, create more misunderstandings, create more confusion. Do you understand? So we can help you to recover to get over those issues. Private institutions. I'm not just talking about public institutions, even private institutions. So let's look at demobilization, disarmament, and reintegration. All right, talking about DDR, very important. It's one of the critical components in post-conflict recovery and reconstruction. It is aimed at transitional and at the transition of former combatants from military or armed groups structures into civilian life. That is, this person was a civilian again before, though, but because of influences, became a combatant. Now the war is over. He's like a bat. It's like bat, that animal like that look like a bird, but it's not a bird. It look like an animal, but it's not an animal. So he has no category at all. If you open his teeth, you look at him, is this one a bird or what? No, bird no they get teeth now. So which category you belong? Are you a dog or are you a bird? I'm talking about bat. You understand? So when the war is over, that is how all these combatants look like. You are not a civilian. You are no longer a combatant because you cannot dare even go and carry gun again. Do you understand? So you are just in between. So we have to return you back to a civilian life. And it means that you have to go through rehabilitation process. You have to go through a lot of processes before we can consider you to be a human being again, because you were a human being but at a different level. So now we don't understand your level. So, but now that you say the war is over, I have surrendered, I don't want to be considered as a combatant again, we will still have to take time to rehabilitate you for some times and watch you and monitor you and see that yes, this guy really and genuinely repented before we can now integrate you into the society. Do you understand? Because some people have been reintegrated like that, they still went back into the same issue that they were coming up. So we have to take time, watch them, monitor, look at what they are doing, how they are behaving before we can reintegrate them. Go through some training, go some kind of rehabilitation processes, psychological um, you know, rehabilitation and all of that. So let's look at the components of let's look at these components individually, like the talk about DDR now. So demobilization, disarmament, and what reintegration. So let's look at them individually. So we're talking about disarmament. What does that mean? When we talk about disarmament, what does it mean? Is the collection, documentation, control, and disposal of weapons, ammunitions, and explosives from ex-combatants and civilians. Right? Because some of these things may find themselves in the hands of even civilians. Because the matter come get worse, so everybody is looking for protection. So civilian can also get some things just for the sake of protection. So we need to recover, in fact, disarm all of them. Both the one that was meant for only self-defense and the one that was meant for instrument of war, all of them we are going to disarm them and then integrate them. So what is the goal here? The goal is to reduce the availability of arms to prevent further violence. But you see, this is the challenge because sometimes recovery, that is that is why we don't even need all of this in the first place. Because to get out of it completely is not always easy. Do you understand? It's not always easy to get all the arms back. That is, no matter how you are able to disarm some element, will still have some of these things in their possession. And they can easily become criminals. They can easily backslide and fall back into what we're trying to bring them out. So what are the challenges that has to do with disarmament? Weapons often remain hidden. I said it. Weapons often remain what? Hidden. No matter how you disarm, no matter how you do it, you will still find that there are some people that hide their weapons. Resistance from combatants who may feel insecure without weapons. Because some of them have used weapons for a while. And so now you ask them not to come, not to be without weapon. It's like you are telling them that uh, they should go and be like, they used to call us bloody civilians, right? They don't want to be like bloody civilians. So they want to go out and fight. They want to go out and fight. So it's like telling them to go and be bloody civilians, and they're not willing to be bloody civilians. You understand? So this is it. They want to fight. So with arms in their hands, they can do better. So please, if you join this meeting, I'll share it with someone, invite them to be part of the training. It's called that you people have not been sharing it as expected. No. So please do well to share it, invite them, let it be on your wall, let them come to see it, and let them also take part. Also, you can like and also paraphrase by commenting. Let's know what you're understanding, and also you have questions you can ask. So please let's do well to share the link with others. Put it on your wall, ask them to be part of it. So now, what's the method you are going to use to carry out disarmament? Voluntary surrender of arms. Sometimes we talk about the issue of amnesty during Yar'Adua administration, when Yar'Adua wanted to end the conflict in the Niger Delta, the militancy operation in the Niger Delta, he called for amnesty, right? And promised them that if you drop your arms, give you scholarships, sponsor you to go and school abroad, come back and be useful to the society. A lot of them dropped their arms. Do you understand? And some of them sent to the universities abroad, some became stranded, even Yaradua died and said a lot of things, stories. You know. Weapons buyback or exchange programs. Weapons buyback or exchange programs. Yes, bring your weapon, we'll give you money. We'll buy it from you. You understand? Yes, that weapon you are holding, bring it, come and collect money. 100,000 per weapon. So you bring back the weapon you used to kill people, and they pay you money again for it just because they want you to stop doing what you are doing. Hmm. So demobilization, the former and controlled discharge of combatants from military structures or armed groups. The former and controlled discharge of combatants from military structures or armed groups. So that is, you are no longer a member of this group. You are no longer a combatant, right? Discharge, discharge. Former and controlled. So the discharge is not just going to be anyhow. We'll take your records and know that you are no longer doing it. So what are the phases of demobilization? Initial demobilization, that is gathering combatants in specific sites, and you know that is containment areas. We also support phase, which is providing interim care such as medical checks, food, and shelter. All right. Then what is the goal here? Dismantle armed groups and reduce their influence on society. So all the armed groups like the Boko Haram has been scattered and you know scattered, disfigured, disorganized, and demobilized. If you want to put it that way. Challenges: managing large groups of combatants and ensuring fair treatment. So you have many people that are just disengaging from such operations. It becomes so difficult to manage them. So reintegration. Reintegration has to do with the process of assisting former combatants to integrate socially and economically into community civilians or into civilian communities. And the process of this is quite challenging because one, we are no longer going to trust you. That is another challenge. They're not going to trust you easily. I will see you, I will look you one eye like this. If I see you, I would just say this guy, a tough guy, a tough guy. Avoid him like plague. You understand? So economic reconstruction or reintegration provide education, vocational training, or job opportunities, social reintegration, supporting reconciliation between ex-combatants and their communities, addressing trauma and promoting social acceptance. Then we have challenges. What are the challenges? Hostility from communities towards former fighters. Hostility what? From community members towards former fighters. So we see you now, we dey mirror you now. So you in this community like this, you go and join bad gangs. Now you are claiming holy holy here. We will never take you serious. You understand? If not because of the help of government, you would have even destroyed us. Some of us talking to you now would have not been alive to talk to you because of what you were doing. So there, we are not going to trust you. In this community, we are not going to be anything. We will never consider you for anything. Do you understand? So lack of economic opportunities, even to give you an opportunity is not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun, right? So psychological adjustment for ex-combatants. You yourself, you are not feeling comfortable. You are no longer free in your own living community. You understand? Where people are talking and it concerns a certain matters, you not chook mouth. If you chook mouth, they say, look at this terrorist. What are you saying? You will fight. You continue to fight because by the time you start trouble and they give you name, you forget about what you want to contribute and start fighting. So you will fighting for the rest of your life until maybe one day you just get angry and leave that community and go to another place where you are not known. You understand? That you can have your free life. What are the key principles of DDR programs? Comprehensiveness. Both immediate security needs and long-term reintegration challenges must be addressed. Comprehensive. Inclusivity. Ensure the participation of all groups, including women, children, and persons with disabilities. All the groups should be included. Community focus. Engage communities to foster acceptance and rebuild trust. No matter what happens, engage the community. Please don't look at them as strangers. They are your children. Yes, they misbehave, but that is not enough reason to distrust them. They can still do good things in the community and give them opportunities. Let them also try. Give them a second chance. Let them prove it. That yes, it was peer pressures. It was uh, lack of understanding. It was ignorance that made me to do something like this. I'm not going to do anything like that. So give them the opportunity to rebuild. Local ownership. Encourage local governments and organizations to lead and sustain efforts. Sustainability. Link DDR to broader development and peace building efforts. So these are the issue. Do you understand? So what are the special considerations in DDR? What are the special considerations? Child soldiers. So you have to tailor programs that prioritize education and psychological support for those children that were recruited in armed conflicts, into armed conflicts. You understand? Because there are some young children that were recruited into it. They didn't know anything. They just go away. You understand? They didn't know what they were doing, but their friends say, "Oh, come, we are fighting certain war." You understand? And then ignorantly, and even as children, they don't know what it is. They will just go and join. They think that they are fighting for something, a common and a just cause, but no, it's because they were ignorant. So women combatants address unique needs. Girls are also sometimes cornered into these activities. So they also must be reintegrated. Non-state armed groups. Non-state what? Armed groups like handling ideological, political, cultural dynamics to ensure compliance. Very important. So these are the issues. Now let's look at some case studies of demobilization, disarmament, and reintegration. So are there case studies that we would like to consider? Of course, there are case studies. Number one case study that we're going to consider is Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone in 1999, 2005, Sierra Leone. So what is the context here? After an 11-year civil war marked by atrocities, including the use of child soldiers, the DDR program was a cornerstone of the peace process. So disarmament, how were they disarmed, these people, after the war? Over 700, over 75,000 combatants, including 6,845 child soldiers disarmed. You can imagine the impact of 6,000, the impact of this on 6,000 children. Then we'll talk about more than 42,000 weapons, 42,000 weapons, and 1.2 million rounds of ammunition were collected and destroyed. You can imagine that. So it was a very serious issue. And of course, a civil war that lasted for 11 years, it's not going to, a lot of things will happen. A lot of things. You understand? So, what was the demobilization process here? Combatants were gathered at demobilization camps where they received food, medical care, and counseling. For some of them, they counseling for them to redefine and redirect their energies to something productive. Do you understand? Child soldiers received special care and were separated from adults. So the reintegration. Ex-combatants were offered vocational training, education, and microcredit for starting businesses. So what was the outcome? While successful in disarming combatants and promoting stability, many ex-combatants struggle with unemployment, undermining long-term reintegration. Many of them, after the war, to get something to do was a challenge. Colombia, we have Colombia from 2016 to date. What's the context here? DDR was a critical component of the 2016 peace agreement between the Colombian government and the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. So demobilization. Fighters. Okay, what was the disarmament here? Over 13,000 FARC fighters surrendered approximately 8,994 weapons under United Nations supervision. Demobilization. Fighters were relocated to 26 designated zones for reintegration, support and monitoring. Training programs provided education on civilians' life and rights. Reintegration. How did the reintegration take place? Right? Economic programs included land redistribution and vocational training for former fighters, psychological support, address trauma among ex-combatants and victims, efforts to address stigma faced by FARC members were slow and even. You understand? So these are the issues. So what was the outcome here? Progress has been mixed, with many reintegrated into civilian life. However, violence from dissident groups and slow implementation of reintegration programs pose ongoing challenges. All right. So the last one I'm going to take for today is Liberia. Liberia 2003 to 2009 context. Liberia Civil War 1989 to 2003 involved various armed factions. DDR was central to the 2003 Accra Peace Agreement. So I mentioned that in here, but Accra Peace Agreement. So because many of them were taken asylum in Ghana, right? So disarmament over 113,000, 103,000 combatants disarmed, including 22,000 women and 11,000 children. You can imagine. Demobilization. Combatants gathered at camps where they were processed and offer basic services. Reintegration. Ex-combatants were provided with vocational training, education, and seed funding for small businesses. Special programs address the needs of child soldiers, including family reunification and trauma counseling. You understand? So this is how all of this were created. Right? So what was the outcome? The program successfully disarmed factions and reduced violence. However, high unemployment and weak governance hamper reintegration efforts. Because, like I said, a lot of them, you understand, even when they were asked to go back, a lot of them stayed in Ghana still. They refused to go. Thousands. Only 1,000 Ghanaian government was able to absorb and resettle them. But the remaining, they were asked to go back. And they refused to go. Some went, some stayed back. You understand? Most of them stayed back. So it became a problem at some point. So because of this unemployment, some of them were asking, if I go home, what will I go and be doing? I don't have anything to do. At least here, I'm doing some things. Let me just focus here. Let me not go back to my country and then go and die of hunger. You understand all those things. So this is the much we can take today. We have other several examples like the Rwanda case. We have been talking about Rwanda. I don't want to talk about it again. We have Afghanistan. Afghanistan is a problem. You understand? That is a problem. That place is a problem. Don't talk much about it. But guns there is like something like we say now water. For some of you, I say you must understand pidgin. You are from a country outside Nigeria, you must understand pidgin. Here now, we say if there are too much guns in the hands of people, we say guns now water. That is plenty everywhere, like water. So in Afghanistan, that is how the situation look like. So it's free. They work with them freely. Nothing. Yeah. Then we have Nepal. This is another example. So you can decide to check some of these ones on your own. All right. And there are challenges, economic challenges. We have social challenges. All of those things were challenges, like the issue of job unemployment, the challenges, psychological challenges, political challenges. I've mentioned all of this, so there's no need to repeat all of them. So this is the much we'll take today. Any question? Yes, Ambassador Harima is saying money na water. Yes, money na water. So even weapons, when they are too much in the hands of people, na water. Do you understand? So now the thing be that. So how we together? So any question? So I'm looking at your comments section. I'm just trying to see what you guys are saying. If I see any question, um, Jen with Casa from Kenya. Yes. Um, the certificates are ready. Jen, Odelia, and Alex certificates are ready. Right. Thank you very much. So who is there again? Any question? Any question? Any question? There's no question. We can call it a day. See you tomorrow. I'm trusting God that by next year our training will be much more different because I'm doing some investments, investing in some equipment so that maybe some things like screen touch kind of training so that I'll not be sitting and be talking. We work together. It will be more engaging, all right? It will be more engaging next year because of several activities that we'll be doing concerning this training will be more, you know, demonstrating some of the things with diagrams and so many activities. So it will be more engaging next year. So I'm even making consultation to get the right tools so that we can do it. All right. So thank you very much. We wish you the best. See you. You will get the manual soon. Just be patient. You get it. You get it. It's so scattered. I have to arrange it. Once I arrange it, I'll send it to you. Right. I have not had time to arrange it. So once I arrange it, I'll send it to you. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow then. No, we don't have. Okay, tomorrow is Wednesday. We don't have. Thank you very much for reminding me. Tomorrow is Wednesday. We're not having training, but there will be a rebroadcast of this one. So just you can hook on to this one to get in.